Last week had it was a blast. I just got back here in Manila last night. We celebrated my birthday. I mean, my me and my twins' birthday. It's a simple celebration. I really don't want. I don't want to be accommodated at all. Although I'm not saying I'm don't like to celebrate our birthday, but I do. It's just that maybe I prefer more simple, intimate. But I want to be part of a bigger group. In other words, maybe I want to accommodate people rather than me being accommodated, even if it's my family, my friends. I think because I've been independent since I was 20 years old, I've always been living by myself. But anyways, that's not part of my blog today because while I was heading to the province in Cabanatuan, uh, I think one of my friends he messaged me. He was uncertain right now on his 7 year relationship because he was telling that for the past years he felt like he's the one only carrying the weight of the relationship financially, and he was telling me like where he will go, where does he need to go in this direction because his partner doesn't have a stable job. He studied something, but his partner kept studying something and did not ended up finishing it. He did not pass the exam. All of those things are coming into play. It's been ongoing, but that's really your partner need to be financially stable. Well, the way I look on it's having a relationship doesn't mean that somebody's just going to be dependent, fully dependent to someone. I think emotionally you could be dependent to each other, but financially and the other aspect, you need each one of you are also individual. That you have to have your career, you need to have your goals in life, but most importantly, budgeting really comes into play because if your partner is financially is overspender, he doesn't have any budget, he doesn't have any retirement plans, then that might affect you. And in America, in the US, top five cause of divorces are because of financials. People have have so many debts, student loans, personal loans, and does it affect it? Does it affect the relationship? Definitely yes. Because remember, money does not is not the most important thing in life, but the lack of money affects the most important valuable people in our lives. Because if your partner has he doesn't really care about your budget, about your spending monthly spending habits, how can you plan? How can you travel if you're the type of person that you'd like to celebrate your anniversary, birthdays, anything, or to visit your family somewhere? You need to have an emergency fund that's set aside or relationship fund where you can use that money, but it needs to be a 50-50. Somebody needs to always bring something in the table, and most of the time it should be 50-50. What about you're planning to buy a house or you're planning to put up a business? It cannot always be, oh, I love you and that's what matters. That's very unreasonable, and I think that is a toxic relationship when somebody's just telling, oh, I love you and that's what matters. Money doesn't matter. Well, I have a good news. Well, I have to break it to you that money really matters. It affects the direction of the relationship because if you have money, if you're well prepared during rainy season, your relationship can take to a healthier position where you guys can support each other's personal goal in terms of the career. If somebody wants to quit his job, he knows that his partner is not gonna be compromised because you have your own budget, he has his own budget, and Yeah, and it's also applies with the family members. Like if you have family abroad or you have family in the province, they also need to learn how to make their own on their own ways, and not to be just solely relying everything on you and feeling that you're not you're not affected by all this what's happening, especially the increase of gas, the increase of the prices, all of this. And what happened that there should be an emergency fund. So what one thing I learned about it, it's okay to talk about this kind of awkward conversation with your partner, with your boyfriend, husband, or wife, enable for you to sail on the same direction, because it's all about balance. If you love each other, that's fine, but having a plan, financial plan, it's also important. Like having emergency fund, which means 3 months of spending habits, and then how much is your monthly spending habits times 3 months. So for example, $10,000 times three, you need to have $30,000 as an emergency fund. Then insurance is important, especially if you have kids, life insurance, car, health insurance. Those are the three things. And then you also need to have another 5% on, it could be a flexible fund. If you want to travel, it could be used for travel. If you want to purchase a new home, that can also be used. So those are like the three things basic on a basic financial planning. But what are your thoughts about it? Well, that's those are my 2 cents, and I hope for a healthier relationship with my friend, and I hope they can sort things out. But always set a deadline. If your partner is not there yet, give him 3 to 6 months. Be open and tell him, you know what? Tell him or her after 3 to 6 months that I don't see any progress on your end. I think I have to go back to the drawing board of this relationship and reconsider all my options, because you have other dreams. You have to prioritize that. No matter what it takes, just be there and get there with or without someone. All right? Bye.